What we have found is that if you can start getting really intentional around what your body does well with, and if you learn where your kryptonite is, then you can be Superman all the time.
After running this, I really have tried to get just more lean protein because I was like I'm like a ribeye a day if possible type of guy, and it's been an adjustment. But I'm excited to see how my carotid artery scans kind of evolve and make some improvements there too.
When you're looking at your genes, what this does is it gives you an indication of where to point your health. And so my protein benefit, you can see I'm just like way better with protein than I am with fats or carbohydrates genetically.
All right. Welcome everybody to the Health Accelerator Challenges. This is your host tonight, Cade Archibald, and I'm really excited, looking forward to diving into some really cool stuff today with the co-host Regan Archibald. Regan, how's it going?
Going awesome.
Very cool, very cool. Well, I think last week we covered some really broad topics. I think I was on the back end for the most part. Let's see, what did we jump into last week?
Well, last week was my health progress report.
That's right. Oh yeah, we went through the whole progress report. I'm sorry.
No, it was more meaningful for me than anybody else because it was all about me.
Well, no, I think that was it's such a cool tool, and I'm really excited to get that rolled out for more people because I think that it'll be a lot more meaningful to them as well. You get your report card and see what progress you've made, what you've been working on, and how it's impacted your health. It's really fun to go through that process.
No doubt about it.
Awesome. Well, today I'm excited. We're jumping into some genetics. Is that right?
Yeah, we'll go through genetics, and I apologize, everybody. It's my genetics. And Kate, do you have your report? If
Let
you
me
pull up
grab
your PDF, we can go through yours too. But since I'm prepared on my end, I'll pull up mine and we can kind of talk about it. But one of the challenges that I gave you guys is give yourself a health report card. How are you doing in your health? Where do you feel like you've made the biggest improvements over the last year? Like if you think of last December, we're entering into the winter solstice, longest night of the year. And this is actually one of my favorite times of year right now. But how many of you remember last year where you were in your health journey and what kind of progress have you made? And I'd love to hear it in the chat box. I had one of our clients, Kate, he's been waking up 5 or 6 times a night to urinate, and he's not waking up at all. I mean, it's amazing. He had his prostate removed, so yeah, it's been a big difference. Oh, awesome! Anna can sleep for half the night now. That's a huge turnaround. And I'm so glad. That is great news. Had another client who's this year he's taken off 60 pounds.
Well
So
done.
it's like, and I got the screenshot. Here's where it was, and you can see it on his phone because he has one of those in-body scales that like registers his weight every day to his phone. So cool to see the graph, just like,
Just
um,
plummeting.
yeah, just
And another one of your clients, they lost like 35 pounds this year.
okay. It has, yeah. Have you lost that much weight this year?
Yeah, I think I was pushing like 215 and 180 consistently.
Jeez, isn't that crazy? Well done, man. That is awesome. I've got my vertical leap 4 inches. It's a big win for me. Um, Hugh, good to have you on. Stronger, healthier. Lost 35 pounds, still working on going.
Nice.
Man, well done. That is really exciting. We had a client as well, like who's had all this crazy like eczema, skin issues that he's been dealing with, and that's been 100% gone for the last 3 months. So just a lot of things to, a lot of wins all around. And so for those of you who have not been to our retreat, one thing I'll do before we jump in is give you guys a little announcement. I'm going to pull up the page here, but we are having a really cool retreat on January 16th. So if you'd like to join us, come join us, be our guest. We're going to have some phenomenal people, though. We'll have Charlie Gadet. He's going to be kind of our guest at the event. He'll be talking, he's an entrepreneurial coach. So you want to meet Charlie. He's been just a phenomenal client member at EastWest. And then we're going to be hosting another event with Ben Greenfield. And that event's going to be February 15th and 16th. And so if you guys don't know who Ben Greenfield is, he's very well known in the fitness and biohacking community, maybe one of the most reputable resources in that field. And so I'll share my screen so you guys can see it. But this, we just are announcing it. So go to AcU East West /longevity-with-Ben.
I'll put that in the chat box too.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, if you are available and want to come hang out with some and learn some really fun things, this is all going to be brain focused. And so we're calling this the Brain Rejuvenation Retreat. Ben's going to be handling everything from world-class fitness strategies to nootropics to how to keep your brain optimized. Ben's, he's someone who loves napping in the day. So he's got ways of recharging his brain. And so I'm sure he'll be talking about that. And then I'll be doing peptides. I'll be talking about some of the novel peptides, the research around cerebral lysin, CMAX, Selenk, Dihexa. You guys will get a chance to try those. And then for those of you who are ready to go to the next depth, we'll be running your blood labs, and then we'll have a stem cell party doing brain rejuvenation treatments. So this is a really phenomenal event coming up February 15th and 16th. So if you're interested, let us know soon. We'd love to have you guys out. Thursday is going to be more the treatment days. We'll be doing peptides, vitamin IVs. Friday is going to be more the hands-on stuff. That's when you'll learn from Ben. So come join us for that. All right.
It'd be awesome.
Yes.
Wait for that.
Okay.
Well, I have my.
Oh, do you have your genes?
I don't have the PDF, but I'm just on the site and I can pivot.
Cool. Let's do it.
Okay. We start with some sleep. Let me share my screen here if I can.
Okay. So and Cade, maybe you can scroll through and show all the genes. So in the past, before AI was a thing, it's just too many things to read to really grasp the potential around genetics. And I still think there's more that we don't know than we do know. So I'm going to preface this conversation with that. But what we have found is that if you can start getting really intentional around what your body does well with, and if you learn where your kryptonite is, then you can be Superman all the time. And so let's jump into sleep. So how many of you are great sleepers? And how many of you probably like to sleep a little better? So Anna, one thing that may be fascinating, since you shared you're sleeping much better, you're sleeping halfway through the night. One of the things you can start looking at are different genes. And so Cade's ideal sleep window, you do pretty well, just like 8 hours of sleep, go to bed at 10, wake up at 6, and you're great.
I have quite a few options, it seems. 9 to 12.
Yeah, you're pretty good there. Um, yeah, time in bed. This one's kind of interesting. Cade needs about 8.5 to 9 hours. Sleep propensity, typical length. So for those of you who think like if Cade was like, all I need is 4 hours of sleep and I feel great. And it's like, okay, well, let's see if there's going to be some diminishing returns because eventually you'll have to pay that debt if you're not getting sleep. And so there's no you don't have that luxury, Cade. You just got to get, you
Make
got to
sure I
set,
get my 8+ hours.
yeah, big chunk of your life is asleep. So that whole "I'll sleep when I'm dead" story has got to stop. Uh, Micro awakenings, you sleep pretty deep. That's good. So you're not like your nervous system genetically is not going to be waking you up often. So that's good.
How's this compared to yours? Are you a little higher on the micro?
My genes are way better than yours, is what the report said. It says Reagan Archibald's genes are way better than Cade Archibald's genes. I don't, that's
Period.
all I see. Yeah, ours are very similar. Yeah, sleep deprivation. I think mine's high on this one. Um, a little more diva-ish. But yeah,
Yeah,
look at your mood, sleep and mood. Because this is interesting because even you can um yeah, deep sleep quality, sleeplessness risk is where you want to go. Uh, so yeah, if you look at, so Kate is like me, where a little moody, more emotional if you don't get the good night's sleep. Is that accurate? Is that how you feel?
yeah, yeah. I think if I don't get a good sleep, like yeah, just a little more aggro for sure.
Yeah. Um, well, that is true. And Anna, you asked this. Looks like a lot of data I get from the Aura. And so what this is it's a cheek swab, and then we send it in. Actually, the company that does it with the AI team is TrueAge, and so the same like True Diagnostic Lab, they run all these alleles. So this is all these. You can see the SNPs there on the screen. Those are all the SNPs that show if there's any kind of polymorphisms or any areas where the gene's not expressed, and then that can exhibit different symptoms. Like if Cade doesn't get a good night's sleep, he's going to be pretty grumpy the next day. Um, all right, let's do one more on sleep, and then let's move to oh yeah, do excessive sleepiness because Cade and I have a grandpa that had narcolepsy. And you may not remember it, Cade, but our grandpa Cal, he'd just fall asleep like passed out. I'm like, what happened
Really?
to Grandpa? Did he die?
Oh, and
But
I was so young when he passed away. I remember like little teeny bits, but I think I was like 5 or 6
yeah,
he passed away. So I don't remember that at all. So I got typical excessive sleepiness risk.
yeah. So that's not a problem there. Good. All right, let's move on to some nutrients. Hugh says, I'm hooked on my Fitbit. Do y'all have views on using these tools? So that's a great question, Hugh. When it comes to sleep, I was an early adopter with the Aura Ring, and I loved it. Similar to what you're using, Anna. The Fitbit can be super helpful, Apple Watch. The one thing that I would caution everybody in when you're using these tools is there's still so much we don't know about sleep and about the data and the way that the things that we're measuring. There's still some unknowns. So don't bet the whole farm on your Fitbit, Hugh, is the only thing I'd say. But I love it because it gives you benchmarks and you're measuring the same thing night after night after night. So it's a really good metric to have. And then be cautious because when they do updates, sometimes they change the algorithms, and that's what happened with Aura Ring. And so I had all these clients that are like, my sleep is horrible. And I'm like, well, do you feel worse or no, I feel great. I feel like I'm sleeping the same. And then, then I did a little digging and found out that they changed some of their algorithms. So everyone's scores were worse for a while. They may have recalibrated it because there's a lot of complaints, but yeah, he was a engineer brain, so he can figure out those metrics easy.
Yeah, and then you kind of have that self manifestation problem where it's like, oh, I slept crappy, so I should feel crappy, and now I feel crappy.
The nocebo, yes.
Yeah.
Let's look at your hold on, scroll down, look at your fats because I want to see mine. That was the most enlightening thing for me when I looked at my genes. I was like, holy cow. Yeah, so you're less effective with fat. So you know, ketogenic diet over time, you're going to get fat on that unfortunately. Keep scrolling down, or you may have to
Oh, I
go
got
to
this
the
one.
other one.
Looks like they got an AI update. That's
There's
saturated
the
fat.
saturated. Yeah. Yeah. So, yep. Kate's got the ApoE4 3 and 4 gene. So we both got to protect our brain. And I'm not sure why they didn't do your saturated fat.
There it is.
Oh yeah, yeah. So poor response. So it's unfortunate. I've been eating leaner meat, and I can't believe how much of a difference it makes. Just like just overall, like I don't feel that fullness. And so, have you cut back on the saturated fat?
Yeah, after running this, I really have tried to get just more lean protein because I was like I'm like a ribeye a day if possible type of guy, and it's been an adjustment, but yeah, I'm excited to see how my carotid artery scans kind of evolve and make some improvements there too.
Yeah,
But yeah,
made a big difference in mine. I bet it will in yours too.
anything.
Uh, oh yeah, let's look at food sensitivities. I thought mine would be worse because every time I test, I have so many foods that my body is like not happy with. So you do pretty well, the GAD1. So your body can convert glutamate into GABA. But yeah, you can tolerate a little bit of MSG, but I wouldn't go crazy on it. Typical on gluten. Um, but that's not glyphosate sprayed gluten. So just remember that, folks. If you're like, oh, I don't have a gluten risk, and it's like, well, they're testing the natural gluten protein. So
Yeah,
um,
they're not calculating the glyphosate that's been added into it in most all breads in America or all glutens. And
yeah, a little bit of intolerance, lactose intolerance, which is probably why you're gassy all the time. And no weight gain from dairy fats. So your heavy cream is you can stick with it.
I'm good with my heavy cream. That's
Yeah.
one thing I was excited to see is I can still do my cream.
Yeah. So I know you've got jump, but let's go one more into the muscle because this is where it's just not fair sometimes. Because I have bench warmer genes, is what I learned. Why did I even try to be an athlete? Um, but yeah, Cade's got the genes like yeah, so elite muscle mass, increased strength, like that's just not awesome because I didn't get either of those. And Cade, when we'd wrestle, yeah, I'd come home and I'm about 10 years older than Cade, and so I'd be in my 20s and he was like a teenager, and then he started breaking my ribs and I was like, we can't wrestle anymore. I can't do it. So yeah, he's always had crazy strength. So there it is genetically, Cade. Congratulations.
Yes, at least I got that.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, you got time for one more? Or are you good, Cade?
I better run. I got to go watch Olive perform at the park.
Okay. All right. So just to give you guys some perspective, thanks, Cade.
Thanks, guys.
Just to give you some perspective, like the thing about genes is, and I did a Go Wellness. We had a Go Wellness event on Friday, and this is what was said multiple times is it's the epigenetics that is the most important. And so when you're looking at your genes, what this does is it gives you an indication of where to point your health. And so you can see on my appetite sensing, fullness, it's less effective. So I need to stop eating when I'm 80% full, and that's just like, otherwise I'm more prone to overeat. Mine's not extreme, but I have had clients who are extreme. My protein benefit, you can see I'm just like way better with protein than I am with fats or carbohydrates genetically. And so I mentioned this earlier, but my wife is really heavy into making really lean proteins. She does better on that too. And it's been super helpful for body composition, for energy levels, for digestion. My snacking and emotional eating risk is low, unless I'm writing a book. And then I want all the crunchy things when I have like writer's block, which I am writing my new book right now. Right now, it's so far it's Strategies to Live Forever, is kind of the working title, but how to be your own bioreactor. And so, as a bioreactor, this is how you can make stem cells, peptides, all the how to make your body turn your body into this just healing machine. So I'll keep you guys posted. It's a big project, but yeah. But anyway, when you look at the things that can optimize your health from a genetic perspective, you can just start pointing things in that direction. So this one, you can see my ApoE3 and 4. I've got the variant, so I've got to protect my brain. I don't do well on fats. I don't respond well to it, so they can oxidize easier in my body and create problems cardiovascularly. Um, I do much better. I can lose weight on a low carb diet. I've always known that. My insulin resistant risk is really high. Insulin resistant propensity really high, and so I've got to make sure I'm diligent on my blood sugar, and that's where I've loved peptides. That's one of the ways I got into like using 5-amino NMQ, MOD-SC, because those are great peptides for stabilizing blood sugar. I've got to always add B12. I've got a little bit of MTHFR now that I know deeper. It's not nearly what I thought it was. Reduce sodium sensitivity, so I can add a little more sodium in, and then my magnesium risk is really high, so I've got to watch that. So adding in magnesium, I love MagTech by my friend Roy Krebs at Natural Stacks. It's a great product. I do need to add more eggs for choline. My nitric oxide's low, and one of the things I've done for years, and I didn't do it because genetically I didn't have this data, but I've always had beet juice. And so I take a pull of beet juice in the morning and then take a pull of beet juice at night. And it keeps ferritin out of my blood. It keeps my heart healthy, and it feels really good when you go on a mountain bike ride after you drink beet juice. You've got better endurance. And now I realize like I don't produce it, and pretty interesting. You guys saw Cade. He has like crazy all of his muscles, genetically, his muscles are he's in a higher category than me. I'm like, if you look at my muscle mass, it's typical, my strength's typical, muscle endurance really low, and my muscle recovery is lower. But to put context in this, I grew up on a farm, and so I always was lifting heavy things. But when I was in high school, I could bench 300 pounds, the most at the time of anyone in high school. So that just proves like if you work hard, even if you have genes that don't match up what your ambitions are physically, you can overcome it. My vigorous exercise tolerance is low. So I've actually doing the athletic greatness program has been a game changer for me. I was able to add 4 inches to my vertical jump. And that's by slowing down my exercising. It's crazy. So weight loss, typical from exercise, endurance, I'm typical on endurance. My mood is not great when I sleep. So my luteinizing hormone, PSA, typical. I do fine converting testosterone to estrogen. So I'm not too worried about that. Aromatization, cortisol levels look typical. So that's positive. But yeah, if you look at the blood work, I mean, one of the things that we want to start implementing into your protocol is when you get to that restorative phase, that kind of phase 3 in your Accelerate Wellness program, we take you through the reset phase, and there's 2 months of kind of getting rid of sugar, getting rid of interferences, exercising ideally twice a day, where you're doing the 30-30 protocol. You're getting out in the sun as the sun's rising, as the sun's setting, you're getting some cold exposure. I mean, these are such important things. You're getting your hydration in. But once you get to the restore phase, one of the things we want to do is start really dialing in your macronutrients, so your proteins, your carbohydrates, and fats. And so a DNA test can be really super important. And so for those of you who've had the DNA done, I'm sure it's kind of an eye opener. For those of you who have not done it, just shoot us an email. You can send us a text at 801-582-2011 and say, hey, I want to get more information on the genetic test, because I think it could be pretty amazing for the transformation that you'll see. Because our overall goal is we want you to have the most expanded lifespan as possible, but we want that aligned with health span. And so that's why we do what we do. But hopefully this has been interesting to you. It's been a phenomenal year, and this will be our last Health Accelerator Challenge for the year. And so I just want to thank each one of you for being part of our community, for being such amazing human beings. I mean, every day is like a dream come true. I get to work with the coolest humans on the planet. We've got this great community. And one of the reasons why I love doing what I do is because I love seeing you reach your full potential. And I think health is at the foundation of everything. I mean, I've talked to people of all walks of life. And at the end of the day, if you don't have great health, it's really hard to have great relationships. It's really hard to have an ambitious future. It's really hard to look beyond just that instant pain that you have right now. And so I definitely love the line of work I'm in. I love seeing you put your health as a priority. And thank you guys for being part of our community and for making 2023 just like my favorite year yet. So how many, so many amazing things I could say to you guys. So thanks so much. And thank you, Hugh, and everybody for being part of the community. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Enjoy Hanukkah. If you celebrate that, whatever you do this holiday season, make sure you connect with the people you love most. And I love you guys. And so hopefully you feel a big old hug across the planet, wherever you are. And we will see you guys in January, if not sooner. Take care.